Another day, more Phils. Yes, I am by myself today, but a guest will be joining the pod. Phillies Friday is back on the pod. Chris is on vacation, so I'm rolling through this today. Yes, we did miss last pod. Hold us accountable. Scheduling conflict. But they did take 2 out of 3 versus the Reds. Big deal. So, bounce back from the Royals, take 2 out of 3 versus the Reds. Basically, this is a road trip recap. Today, they saw Tariq Skubal. They conquered Tariq Skubal. You know why? Because our ace should be all-star, Zach Wheeler. Game 1, we'll get right into the recap. Game 1, Aaron Nola, back-to-back good outings. 8 Ks through 5, 2 earned runs. You think you win that game? No, you don't win that game. Tim Meza totally implodes. Max Lazar totally implodes. Just total smackdown, 10-2. The game's off by the 5th inning. I mean, Garrett Stubbs pitched. I can't do Garrett Stubbs pitching anymore. One positive note from that game. Derek Hill. He had 3 out of 4 of their hits. He had 1 home run. I mean, the guy's just been phenomenal as a Philly so far, which will lead me into game 2. Before we get back into Derek Hill, Christopher Sanchez bounced back. 7 Ks through 7 innings. He did give up 10 hits, a lot of soft contact, 1 home run. No big deal. However, he stayed in a little too long. I don't know why Don put him back out. He was at 97 pitches, I believe. Didn't need to come back out there. Anyway, Derek Hill, human highlight reel. That catch he made in center field was phenomenal. Continues to hit at the plate. He had a bad day today, but which we'll get to. But look, man, if Derek Hill is going to continue to play like this, I think you got to play him a lot. It's no different when Edmundo Sosa's hot. It's a role player who's just continuing to roll. And I got to say, Big Bad John Bolin, I'm a big fan. I think he's turning into a high leverage reliever. The Baseball Savant page backs it up. They gave up Matt Strahm for Jonathan Bolin. I do not like Dave Dombrowski. Got to give him big credit there. But, and to end game 2, Johan Duran got his 24th save of the season, and he ties the franchise record for the most saves in the first half before the All-Star break. This guy, you can make an argument, a legitimate argument, that Johan Duran might be the most important player on this team right now, which I will get to in the temperature checks. But these one-run games that they're winning, guess who's shutting it down at the end? Game 3, Bryce Harper, he's had a bad July. He did have 1 hit today. He had made a couple of good defensive plays, but he also did have that error where he just straight up dropped the ball. He needs to start picking it back up. Maybe he needs the All-Star break. I know he's going to play in the All-Star game, but maybe he just needs a break. I don't know. Kyle Schwarber comes through in the 3rd inning, scores JT Realmuto. It's 1-0 Phillies. Then JT Realmuto, who, by the way, had a great series, comes up in the top of the 6th, bases clearing double. It's 4-0 Phillies. Bryson Stott adds on. It's 5-0 Phillies. The game is blown open at that point. They beat Tariq Skubal. I mean, I honestly had them losing this series, so good on the Phillies because Wheeler, it wasn't me doubting Wheeler. I didn't know how Sanchez was going to come out and look. The Nola start, I don't want to call it a scheduled loss at this point because Aaron Nola has been pitching well, but it didn't, they didn't hit. They lost 10-2. The bullpen didn't do anything. So 5-0 Phillies, and then you have Zach Wheeler, who made another statement game. This is his 3rd straight game with 10-plus strikeouts, which is the first time since May of 2021 that has happened. But this guy's not an all-star. His season ERA, I believe, is down to a 2.13. So I don't know what else you could ask for him. He's 10-1 in 15 starts this year. I mean, somehow he had thoracic outlet syndrome and he's better this year. I don't know what happened there. This is a better Zach Wheeler than we saw last year. And they take the series. Like I said, they win 2 out of 3. They win today 5-0. So you have a 10-2 loss, a 4-2 win, and a 5-0 win. So that's a good way to end the All-Star break because I was genuinely worried after the Royals series that they would go 3-6 on this road trip. Temperature checks. Starting pitching. The big 3 are rolling right now. Christopher Sanchez is, he's had a couple of rocky outings here and there. Bounced back yesterday. Zach Wheeler, just ace. I don't have anything else to say. I just total ace. And you know what? I'm glad he declined the invitation to the All-Star game that he got after total nonsense of him not getting elected for it to begin with. Jesus Luzardo down to a 3.51 ERA in the season now. I mean, he's picking it back up here slowly but surely. And you got back-to-back good Aaron Nola outings. So last podcast, I was at I believe 4.7 on the starting pitching. They're back above 5. They're almost near 6, actually. Going into the All-Star break, this is basically me recapping the first half of the season on these temperature checks. So for the first half of the season, I'm going to sit at a 5.7. I'm going to move up a whole point. They don't win a lot of these games without the big three. And I know that their record is so many games over 500 when one of Zach Wheeler, Christopher Sanchez, or Jesus Luzardo start a game. Without them, they are nowhere, even without one of them. If 2 of them are there, they're still good. Without one of them, they're not. So those 3 are rolling. I'm going to move them to a 5.7 bullpen. Last pod, I was at a 3.5 for good measure. I mean, what the hell was going on there? Jonathan Bullen, high leverage, like I said. I mean, he's turning into a trusted reliever. I mean, the fastball is great. Big, bad John Bullen. Duran has 24 saves now, like I said. Jose Alvarado, though, his Savant page is like red hot. Not buying it. Doesn't pass the eye test. I can't do the Jose Alvarado bit. He's unreliable. He's just unreliable. Tim Meza got shelled for the first time in a while. I think that was the first time he's given up a walk in a long time. I just don't trust Tim Meza in a high situation, high leverage. He's a good second reliever, second lefty, but hopefully they can go out to the deadline and do something. I will bump the bullpen up here, though. I'll move him to a 4. That's it, though. It's at a 4. Offense. Trey Turner was red hot for 2 weeks, and he cooled off this series, but if he can continue to hit a little bit, it does help the offense. JT Realmuto had a great series. The batting average is still near 200. If he can even just hit 230 or 235, it lengthens the lineup so much. They really need him to pick it up here. You saw, he had 3 hits this series, or 3 hits? Yeah, 3 hits, 5 RBIs this series. Justin Crawford continues to pick it back up. Derek Hill's been phenomenal. Who knows how long that's going to keep up. He is a career role player. Not saying I don't want it to keep going, but Derek Hill, who knows, man? It could fall off just as easily as it picked up. I will move the offense. I was at a 2.6 last pod. 3.2. The run differential is minus 15. I know it's not entirely their fault, but you're not going to hit every day. But more often, I feel like they don't hit than they do. It's mainly the pitching that carries them through this. I'll move them to you know what? I'll bump them up 3.4. 3.4. Don Mattingly. Like I said earlier, Christopher Sanchez did not need to come back out for the 8th inning. He already had 97 or 98 pitches. Yes, he did give up 10 hits. Like I said, nothing was hard contact for the most part. But just get Jonathan Bullen in there, give him a clean inning. Bullen did give up 1 run, but he traded the double play, to get 2 outs. It just, no reason to put him back out there. I like Don Mattingly. I was at a 6 last pod. He's not a great manager. He's not a bad manager. I'll just stay right flat at a 6. Overall, though, they have the best record in baseball under him. So since the first half of the season, I'll move him to a 7. I mean, he's been pretty good as a manager overall, I'd say. And then the team overall, 19-6 in 1-run games this season, and they have 12 shutouts this year, which is the most in Major League Baseball. Thank you, pitching staff. I was at a 3.2 overall last pod. I will move them to a 4 for this pod. And overall in the season, I think I'm going to have to move them to a 5.5. I mean, they're 54-43. We started 9-19. They completely turned the season around. I got to give them the benefit of the doubt here. I think they're a top 3 to 4 team in the National League. There's consistency issues. They do have holes they have to fill. That's why I cannot go above a 6. I'll sit at a 5.5 overall. So, prospect news. The draft is going on today, but I do need to talk about 2 Phillies prospects, Andrew Painter and Gage Wood. So, Andrew Painter started in Lehigh Valley the other day. 2 2/3 innings pitched. 7 earned runs. I don't know, man. I don't really know what's going on with Andrew Painter. This is a total wash of a year for him. Last year, you could excuse because of the Tommy John surgery. It was his first year back, whatever. He was supposed to be part of this team this year, starting every 5 days. Nope, not happening. So, yeah, he also had 4 walks and only 1 strikeout. He gave up 8 hits. This guy was the number 1 pitching prospect in all of baseball at one point. I mean, he is just persuading me for them to sell whatever they have off in the farm because prospects come up and then there's a chance they turn it into this. And it's more likely that they turn it into this than they don't. So, super unfortunate on the Andrew Painter front. Gage Wood started the Futures game today at Citizens Bank Park, I believe. 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 earned run, 11 total pitches, 9 strikes. He did give up 1 run, like I said. Had a couple slider issues. He was having trouble locating the slider. Well, he had a wild pitch get away. It was mainly on the catcher, and then 1 was on Gage Wood. Fastball looked very good, though. So, in terms of the Gage Wood front of things, pretty good. So, let's get into the draft quickly. The Phillies' first 5 picks. Round 1, pick 36, Tyler Spangler, shortstop. Round 2, pick 64, Caden Bogenfall, outfielder. Round 3, pick 100, Ruger Riojas, fan favorite apparently. Round 4, pick 128, Devin Sheeran. Round 4, pick 135, Jackson Jelkin. So, Tyler Spangler, their first pick. Lefty out of De La Salle High School. He is 18. He's 6'3". He has a 55 grade hit and power tool. He missed all of 2026 with a back injury, though. Why do the Phillies love these injured prospects? I mean, when he did play in his junior year, he hit for 430 with 10 home runs. So, he's out of Missouri State. Who knows? Maybe the back will kill him forever. Maybe it won't. Caden Bogenfall, lefty out of Missouri State. Oh, sorry. Spangler was out of De La Salle. Caden Bogenfall is out of Missouri State. 21 years old. He's 6'6", 70 grade raw pop. 274 average, 427 OBP, 413 slug, 840 OPS. He had 6 homers, 57 hits, 33 RBIs, 52 walks, and 48 strikeouts. Not too shabby. So we'll see where he falls. He is older as a prospect. He's 21. So, we'll see where he slots into the farm ranking. Ruger Riojas. Everyone was screaming on X that they love the pick. He is 23. He should be a fast ride to the minor leagues, though. He's a righty out of Texas, University of Texas. Yeah. Major starter potential there. He had 120 strikeouts last year. He has a very good fastball, and he has a very, very good wipeout splitter. A lot of people like him. Devin Sheeran, 20 years old, righty from LSU. Guess what? He's from Reading, Pennsylvania. So when he gets into AA, that would be pretty damn cool. 37% whiff rate, upper 90s fastball. He can reach triple digits, and he has a pretty good slider. So probably a future reliever, but he's a velo demon. 20 years old. Take all the pitching we can get. Jackson Jelkin. So this was a little bit of a risky pick. He's a righty out of Kentucky. He's 23 years old, too. He did have Tommy John surgery and missed 2025. He also is the comp pick for Ranger Suarez. So they got him because they let go of Ranger Suarez. 130 pitches in a complete game shutout versus the Florida Gators last year. Did give up 2 runs in the game, but he threw 130 pitches in that game. Pretty crazy. Most college pitchers don't go past 80. So those are the first 5 draft picks today. I saw a lot of people giving them a B in terms of their overall draft class. They did take a ton of pitching. They drafted 3 catchers. So, maybe one of them pan out down the line. And in 3 years, when JT's contract's up, you have a catcher come in. Who knows? Prospects are prospects, man. They're too hard to predict. Who knows what's going to happen with them? That being said, Phillies Friday will join the pod. We will talk about the first half of the season, some trade talk, the landscape of the trade deadline, and his thoughts on the first half of the season. So welcome in Phillies Friday. Dave, how we doing?
Oh, man, Nate, thanks so much. I appreciate you guys bringing me back. This is awesome. Happy to be here.
Welcome back. So we'll get right into it. I will ask you, we just put a poll up on X. What would you grade the first half of the Phillies season? They started 9-19 and fired Rob Thompson. They are now 54-43 with the best record in baseball since Don Mattingly has taken over as interim manager. So far, it's 44 votes. B seems to be the popular answer with 73%. We do have 16% at A, 9% at C, and 2% at D. Yeah. Dave, I will ask you, what was your grade the first half of the Phillies season and why?
So I did vote in your poll. I gave it a B in the poll, but you only gave the letter grade. So overall, I did a live earlier today on my TikTok account, and then I just kind of responded to some folks who were sharing the same kind of information. I gave them a B plus. I think with what they did under Mattingly and just the stellar performance of Wheeler and Sanchez, and then you said 19-6 in those 1-run games. I mean, so that speaks obviously to Duran.
Yep.
You had a little bit of you had Schwarber with 32 home runs. But the reason obviously they don't have something in the A's, even like an A minus, is obviously because of the 9-19 start, the 10 straight losses, the battling the Mets in the very beginning of the season for the basement.
Yeah, that was pretty rough.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, they made the call, and I made this point in my live as well. Like, they made the call early on to go and make that managerial change. And that, obviously, as it did in the 2022 season, it completely turned around their season, especially in the beginning of before the All-Star break here. So for that, we've given Dave Dombrowski a lot of flack, and rightfully so. The other Dave. He deserves it, but this decision was the right one for the team, and what they did here speaks for itself.
I fully agree. If I could put certain grades on there, I would give them a B plus.
Yeah.
The 9-19 does hold them back from an A. I do fully agree with you on that.
Absolutely.
Another reason too why I want to give them a B plus is kind of what the Atlanta Braves are doing. That does help their letter grade because they are close in the division now. The Braves have just totally jumped off a cliff. They did win today. It was the 9th inning, and it was 3-3, and the Cardinals just couldn't pull it off, so the Braves took the W. So the Phillies will remain 2 games behind going into the All-Star break.
Really quick, it's earlier in the season than it happened in 2007.
Yeah.
But I was very much in the middle of that race, loving every minute of it as the Mets were collapsing.
Yep.
And this, at least the beginning of the first half of the year, this really looks like that for the Braves. It's pretty epic. I mean, they were 10 and a half up at some point?
It might have even been more than that.
It might have been more than that. I mean, this is a pretty epic collapse. To be, we're there 2 games back. I think the Marlins are still 3 or 4 at this point. So that's significant on their end. And I don't know if there's enough moves that they can make or enough. I just don't see them climbing back out of it with the Phillies, the turnaround that they have. They're just not going to be able to extend that lead. And they could end up themselves with a wild card spot.
I mean, there's a chance where there is a reality where the Phillies and Marlins do lap the Braves. I mean,
absolutely.
You look at the Braves, I believe in their last 25 games, I think they've lost 18 or 19 of them. I mean,
that's insane.
I know they had such a big lead. They were on pace for over 100 wins, and now it's just totally gone. I mean,
I didn't even realize it was that bad. That is incredible. It really is.
So, and the Marlins,
you don't expect that from Atlanta.
No, you don't.
It's not an Atlanta thing. It's not.
You do not. No, they're a very well-ran organization. They always do a lot of good stuff.
Right.
The Marlins, though, keep an eye on them. I don't know what's going on over there. I mean, they have all kinds of – the Marlins have good starters, so they do have a chance to win every 5th day. That's the one thing about the Phillies that stinks is that 5th day where it's run hell. They're probably going to lose every time. But, I mean, you look at the Marlins. I know. I mean, they have Otto Lopez, Liam Hicks, Xavier Edwards. They just have a bunch of pests throughout the entire lineup.
Right.
So maybe they go in at the deadline. I don't know. All I can tell you is the Phillies, the Braves, and the Nationals, and the Marlins. I mean, the Nationals are 48 and 49. I don't think they'll buy the deadline, but they are annoying. They are a tough team to play against.
Yeah.
The division is there. And then the Mets today, since we're on the topic, did you see Lindor boot that ball? And
I did. I did. Not live, obviously, but I saw the replay. Oh, man, that's Trey Turner. I mean, Turner does better there, I mean,
yeah,
he at least fields it and then throws it away.
Yeah, so, the Mets are just totally going off the rails.
Brutal.
But yeah, so the Phillies, like I said, they sit 2 games back on in the All-Star break. Let's talk a little bit about the All-Star break real quick.
Sure.
Home run derby. You got Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber in it. How cool would it be if they were in the final against each other?
So have they shown the bracket yet?
I haven't seen it.
Okay, because that would be incredible. I really hope, and I think even Harper may have said it, that would be pretty incredible. Just to have them face each other that final round. I mean, people would go nuts, and it would definitely be one for the ages. I mean, they both. With the way Harper swings, and then
Philly.
obviously what Schwarber does with just that sweet swing, and he just has to run into the ball a little bit, and that thing's flying out of the park. It's going to be. I think it's supposed to be pretty warm that tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So it's going to be. Yeah, the balls are going to be flying. On
top of that, too, they don't have to travel at all.
Right.
They're at home. They know the park.
Exactly.
And I will say, if somehow that they can get to a finals against each other, I don't have it right in front of me, but I'd be curious to see if 2 teammates ever faced off in the finals in the home run derby before. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. I know teammates have participated in it together.
Yes.
But if they have faced off in the finals, that would be awesome, especially in the ballpark that they play in every day.
Right. So. Right. I mean, these are the guys obviously it's the home run derby, but you don't always have. I mean, you used to, like back in the day, you would have honestly the folks who have the most. Sometimes you guys have guys who are more middle of the pack, but you got Schwarber who's at 32, Harper. I mean, honestly, at this point in his career, he's probably going to be a guy who's in the 20s and 30s for a full season. So, I mean, but with the way he swings, and these are just going to be batting practice fastballs, watch out. And, what's funny, you bring up them in the final round. Did you see where he said they should do metal bats?
Does someone in the crowd?
They would kill somebody.
Yeah, so
250 miles an hour off the bat with these guys,
Kyle Schwarber would probably hit one out of the ballpark.
He'd put that one on 76.
Yes.
Right behind the ballpark there.
And the thing is, too, I'm looking at it right now. So the home run derby field is fully set now. It is Kyle Schwarber, Ben Rice, Junior Caminero, Jordan Walker, Wilson Contreras, Bryce Harper, Munetaka Murakami, and Jack Caglione. Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper can win that.
Oh, yeah.
They can definitely. One of them can win that. So
definitely. And if
that
you
would be
split
pretty
them
cool.
out like we were talking about, you split them out into a different bracket. I mean, we could very well be talking if next pod, look at the amazing, amazing race that they had down the stretch there.
Yeah. And if Fox Sports has this set correctly, they do have a top and bottom bracket. Kyle Schwarber's in the top bracket because I believe it goes off of home run totals. So the top half will be the top half of the home runs, and then the bottom half will be the Wilson Contreras, Bryce Harper, Murakami, and Cags. So there is a chance. There is a chance they could see each other in that.
That would be so incredible. But, think about it, though. If you're trying to get people to watch and you want people to invest in the game and get excited about this stuff, and you want the hometown fans there, obviously, why wouldn't you try to make that happen?
Absolutely.
Makes sense.
So let's talk a little All-Star game real quick. So the Phillies have 6 All-Stars: Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, Brandon Marsh, Christopher Sanchez, Jesus Luzardo, and Johan Duran. Zach Wheeler should be in there. He's not. How cool would it be if Johan Duran got to do his entrance in the All-Star game for all these fans that traveled there?
Could you imagine?
That would be sick.
It really would be. Even if it's tie game, or even if the National League's up by a ton, you got to bring him in.
Bring him in and do it.
Entrance.
Yeah.
You have absolutely. I mean, I know you guys had told me last time I was on, just how epic it is live to be there. I mean, incredible. So fans who weren't fans of the Twins, and weren't there on obviously you're not going to get it if you're seeing him in an away ballpark. So for many people, it could very well be a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And outside of a playoff game or the World Series, I mean, come on.
It's pretty cool.
What more could you want? What more fanfare? After a night where potentially Harper and Schwarber could face each other, and one of them's, if they face each other, one of them's going to win. So you're going to have a hometown guy winning. And then the next night you got Sanchez starting. And then, obviously if Marsh does something big in the game, and then to close it out with Duran and that incredible entrance, oh, man. It's must-see TV.
This All-Star game and break really because of the home run derby too. This has a chance to be a party for 2 days at that place. Really, it does.
And that's what you want. I mean, that's what baseball wants, So, I mean, you almost want to say to them, like, if you're going to do all this and you're going to set all this up, and then next year you're going to go and not have a season, you're really doing yourselves a disservice,
right?
Because you're having Philadelphia hosted 250th year of America. I mean, get it done. Let's figure it out.
Perfect.
Let's have a great All-Star week, and then figure this thing out so that we can have baseball next year.
Absolutely. Now I will ask you, and this is the last thing about the All-Star game.
Sure.
What were your thoughts on Zach Wheeler not making it? And I don't know if you saw it or not, but he did decline an invitation the other day.
Yeah. So this is a 2-part answer. So first off,
go ahead.
Absolutely ridiculous that he didn't make it. I mean, total fail on the part of MLB. That being said, I understand feeling disrespected. I mean, initially you feel like, come on, what more do I have to do? He doesn't want it to be just about him coming back, but in very many ways it is. He's coming back from a major surgery, could have been career ending. And then also in some ways, from some things that I've read before, it could have been life threatening. And then to not only that, not only does he come back, not only does he work through it, he comes back not as good. He comes back, in my opinion, better. He looks absolutely dominant right now. I mean, today was the 3rd game in a row where he had 10 or more strikeouts, and he hasn't done that since 2021.
May of 2021, yep.
Yeah, exactly. But that said, I think personally, love Zach, but I think he missed an opportunity to kind of rise above all the noise. I think, it's one thing if this game is elsewhere, but the fact that, a couple things. One, it's in Philadelphia. I think even if you feel slighted, I think you do it for the fans. Okay. And then you do it for your post career, because we know that a lot of the sports writers, one of the first things they're going to do is look at your credentials. They're going to look at how many All-Star games you attended. And it didn't matter whether you made it as the alternate or something like that.
It's on there.
You still made it. It's still on there. You got the star next to your name, or however they quantify it on Baseball Reference. You're in. So I think he missed an opportunity there. And I was kind of sad to see that he didn't really just take the high road and instead wanted to keep making it about himself, because I think at some point it is about you. It is about the player. But even more so, it's kind of also about the fan. You know what I mean? And everyone paying money to see the best. And I think it would have been a really amazing thing to see Sanchez go, and then you have Wheeler right after. So that's my take.
I agree with a lot of what you said.
Yeah.
The other side of this, which I'm kind of leaning towards, this is good that he didn't make it, and I think it's going to piss him off. Did you just see the 2 statement games he went out and threw?
Yes, I did. And
Zach Wheeler,
right.
Yeah, Zach Wheeler is a mental machine. He goes out there with a killer mentality. You don't see a lot of emotion a lot. Yeah. I think he'll carry this the rest of the season with him. Clearly, he's on a mission to show that he's still a top pitcher in baseball. After all the doubt, we saw all the lists. Don't think we didn't see it coming into the season. They didn't even have, some people didn't even have him in the top 10. So I understand the surgery, but the body of work speaks for itself. He should have been an all-star. Absolutely should have been an all-star.
Well, what's interesting is after all of this, he could end up, NLCS MVP, World Series MVP, or maybe even
awesome.
Cy Young. Which, come on, comparatively, that's what you want.
He does have one of the best ERAs in baseball. It's top 5.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. And with guys like Skeens falling out of the pack because of the year he's having, and Miz got touched up in one of his last starts, so he had to sit out Sunday because he was a little tired,
fatigued. But our pitcher is missing a rib.
Exactly.
But he's out there.
That's right. He's out there. He's doing it.
Yeah. So another thing. Let's move on from the All-Star game. Per Bob Nightingale, the Phillies have included Diamondbacks left fielder Lourdes Gurriel Jr. among their possible trade targets for a right-handed outfielder, which also includes Angels right fielder Joe Adell. We talked about Joe Adell last time we were on.
Yeah.
Gurriel. Maybe a couple of years ago, if you asked me a couple of years ago, I'd say, okay, I could do that.
Yep.
He's hitting 216 this year. It's a 265 OBP, a 299
Yeah.
slug, a 565 OPS in 45 games this year. I don't think that's an upgrade anywhere. I don't even think that's a depth move. It just is. It doesn't help the team at all. What are your thoughts on that?
So I'm actually, as you're talking, I'm going to pull up Derek Hill's information. Okay.
Yep.
Pulling up Derek Hill. So for this year, Derek Hill has a 1.1 WAR. Now that's under his career, which is a 2.1. But then I look at Gurriel, it's a negative. And I feel like, haven't we already done the whole negative WAR outfielder thing? Isn't that the reason Castellanos isn't here anymore?
Yes, we have.
Right. I'm totally with you. I do not see how this is an upgrade. I mean, I don't even know. I mean, Adele would barely be an upgrade. Like we talked about him before. I think he would be better. But I mean, is he giving you more than Hill's giving you? Maybe a little bit from game to game, depending on matchups. But I don't see what. I mean, so I'm looking at Gurriel. I mean, he plays left field, but they can also spell you at shortstop and second base. So he gives a bit more versatility. Fine. But I mean, is it a move that we think is actually going to be an upgrade, or are we making a move just to make the move? And I don't understand why we're doing that. Because especially if you're going to plug him in and send down one of the catchers, okay, maybe. We're carrying 3 catchers. Well, I mean, technically we're carrying 2 catchers and a relief pitcher for when there's a blowout game.
Yep.
I don't see, Nate, what this move gets you. I really don't.
So I fully agree on this. Gurriel has been mainly left field this year and the last, I believe, 2 years or so.
Yeah.
The only thing it does is move Gary Stubbs out of here.
Right.
Look, it's a righty bat.
Yeah.
If you're going to go get a righty bat, get a good righty bat. And this leads me into the next point, because you look at the landscape of the league right now, and you have the Boston Red Sox, who started the year terribly. They're now half a game out of the wild card. They're probably not going to sell.
No.
Detroit Tigers. We talked about Tariq Skubal last pod.
Yep.
Since then, the Phillies have the 29th ranked farm system. I don't know if you have the ammo to go get a Tariq Skubal, but even though the Tigers are only 3.5 out of the wild card, and they are 44-52, so I don't know if they're going to sell.
Right.
So you look around the league, you have the Athletics, who are a young team. They don't really have anything to sell. They're just growing. The Kansas City Royals, take what you want from them. The Los Angeles Angels, the Colorado Rockies, the Mets probably won't trade with the Phillies, and you got the Giants, maybe the Reds sell. But, you go into this, and I want to ask you, you have the 29th ranked farm system right now, and you got about 5 or 6 teams that are going to sell, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
How do you compete against all these other teams who have better players, better farm systems, more to offer? I mean, Dave's really going to have to get creative here.
Yeah, he will. And I wonder if it'll be so creative that they got to bring in another team. And that's where you could get something interesting, like a Skubal ending up here. Not that they would, not that the Tigers are going to be sellers now. And I think, actually, I thought I saw something where Skubal said he wants to finish out the year in Detroit.
Oh,
and then
really?
I think, isn't he a free agent after this year? Yeah. So I think he wants to finish it out with Detroit, which, thinking about Skubal himself as a guy and as someone with a family, having a family myself, I get this. You don't know what is going to happen with the collective bargaining and all of that craziness. So maybe it makes sense to wait it out, finish the year. You don't get to see, maybe they make a crazy run at the end. Maybe they don't. But then, you're in the driver's seat, and then you got to figure out what your contract's going to look like anyway, because it could look a lot different. And in terms of what you're able to do and who's able to sign you, could really limit who's able to bring him on anyway, depending on, restrictions and how they set it up. Is there going to be salary cap? All this other craziness that has to get figured out. So I could see them, since they're still quote unquote in contention, which sub 500 in the AL is actually in contention. I mean, who would have thunk it?
It's crazy. I mean, you look at the National League compared to the American League, and
I know.
The teams in the American League who are worse than the teams in the National League are probably going to be buyers, and the teams in the National League are probably going to be sellers.
You mentioned the Athletics. They lost 9 in a row. They're 1-9 in their last 10. They're still only 6.5 games out of a wild card spot.
It's ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous. I mean, the landscape of the league right now just doesn't make any sense.
Well, as much as I mean, especially as a kid, I always loved hearing about the expansion teams. Like 93, I was like, oh,
Right.
man, so cool with the Marlins and the Rockies. And then you had the Diamondbacks and the Rays. And now it's like, well, this is what happens when you expand too much. There's too much. I mean, everything's just so thinned out that you get these kind of races, which is, I don't know.
Yep. And now
it's not good long term.
No, and now you have that extra wild card spot, so that
right
gives 5 or 6 other teams hope that they can somehow land that.
Yeah, I mean, only 5 teams maybe. You have 5 teams that are 10 or more games out. I'm looking right now of just in the wild card. I mean, even that, you saw how much we made up. The team gets on a roll, you never know. You could be. Come the deadline, you could be 6.5 back like the Athletics and think you got a chance. I don't know, but okay. So you mentioned a bunch of these teams. You gave me Gurriel. I'm just going to throw this out there because I've been seeing this player linked to the Phillies. Now the stipulation though is he's a lefty bat. All right,
okay.
And I know and I get it, but with the Giants, 10.5 out, 41-55 right now. Jung-Hoo Lee. Interesting name, plays all the outfield positions from what I understand, but he bats left, he throws right. He's hitting 306. Mm-hmm. He's got a 337 on base. I feel like he's a guy that you could plug in maybe at the top or at the bottom, kind of have that, that hitter where, you have the two leadoff guys. I don't know, or maybe you go on a rise and maybe you get really creative, where you put a rise in at second, you put Stott back at short, you put Trey in the outfield, like they've always threatened to do. Maybe that's the creative thing that he does. A rise, hell, you put him leadoff, put him second, put him anywhere in the lineup, especially top and bottom, and you got somebody who's not going to strike out, somebody who's going to get on base, somebody who's going to get you a timely hit with guys on base. I don't know. Maybe that's the kind of player that this team would need, but it would have to get really creative in what you do with the current guys. So those are 2 players that I just wanted to throw out there as I could. It's not the righty that you're looking for, but if the market is what it is, it could be still right for what the Phillies need, just not the perfect fit.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the Giants are a good team you can make a deal with. I mean, you have Heliot Ramos, who's a righty. He's a 20 home run guy you could go get. You have Arias if you wanted. You can move the infield around a little bit. Who knows what's going to happen with Alec Boehm. Yeah. Yeah, and then, like you said, you have Jung-Hoo Lee. He hits all throughout their lineup. So the Phillies could move him around all they wanted.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the Giants are a team, especially, you name the hitters. There are a couple pitchers from them that you could go get. So if you wanted to try a package deal.
Which I think is what Dave wants to do.
Personally. Probably. Because I think I said this the last time we were on. You're going to have to just hunker down and find one team because so many people are going to try to reach out to these teams. If you can get in talks with one team, if you have to overpay, so be it. It's just something you might have to do. I mean, they don't have a good enough farm to just go out and muscle their way through a trade. I mean, they need a lefty in the bullpen.
Yep.
They need a right-handed bat, and they probably need a fringe starter. So you're not going to get all those things. I think it's just the reality of it. I mean, you look at their farm system, and it just is. It's not there, man.
It's abysmal. And, you were talking about Painter. You're talking about Wood. I mean, Wood's really your best chip at this point.
Yep.
And I don't, he's only going to go so far, but anybody that you're calling up, that's going to be the first name that they ask for. They're not asking for
Absolutely.
Painter anymore. I doubt they'll be asking for Miller. I mean, we already got enough back injuries, and they drafted another guy with a back injury.
Yeah.
So it's the system, the farm system, and what they're going to be able to do. Like I said, I think their best bet may be bringing in another team. And I know that's not a usual thing, but I feel like, Dave Dombrowski has the kind of ilk in the league at this point who could get something like that done. But that's the creativity and outside of the box thinking I think that really needs to happen for them to get the pieces that they need if they actually do want to go get multiple pieces.
Right.
I mean, they need the righty bat. They need another starter potentially. This is something else I was saying too. Like, do you get a starter with the intent, knowing like Not just like, oh yeah, we're going to throw the fifth starter in the pen. You get a guy that because you've seen him, because he has the experience of going back and forth, of doing the starts or coming out of the pen, doing the spot starts, going into the pen in the playoffs. You got to find those kind of guys because you got to make sure that they're comfortable doing it. Like Ranger Suarez was. I mean, I know they kind of tested that out, but Suarez was great with that.
He was.
You need to find that guy again.
I agree.
Yeah.
Last question for you, Dave.
Sure.
Don Mattingly. He said the other day he would not mind coming back for another season. Alex Cora is always going to float around as long as Dave Dombrowski's at the helm.
Right.
What do you think about that? Would you like Don Mattingly back? How do you think he's done this year?
I think Mattingly's done a remarkable job. And, he took the Blue Jays as far as he did. From what I remember, we faced him in the playoffs with the Marlins, right? Wasn't he the manager?
He might have been, yeah. I think that might have been his last year as their manager, I think.
Manager.
I'll double check that while you
Okay, yeah, no, that's great. I don't see there's a couple things, maybe, how long he's left Nola in, but then he comes out and then he tries to correct it, and then the next time he kind of leaves him out a little, or he pulls him a little too early. So there's a couple things that you could say like, I think I question that. But you got to look overall at the body of work. And I think, look how the players responded. I think he's more than willing to work with these guys and to try to figure out, he's not afraid to jumble the lineup. He's not afraid to hit Marsh and Stott and everybody and guys like that against lefties. And look how, and they're responding. I feel like he's a guy that the players respect because of, his time in the league and what he's done elsewhere. And I think
got the cachet.
I think you can see they're really ready to play for this guy. And I think it was Marsh who said it to it was to one of the Mets broadcasters. He's like, he asked them to come in and I need to hear you guys talking in the dugout. I want to hear you guys getting into it. And it's kind of funny. The coaching staff responded too. You saw some of them get thrown out the other night.
Yes.
So I think these guys are like, okay, this is a true baseball guy we can get behind. And we want to fight for him. He says, I want guys that are going to fight for me. And these guys are doing that. So I think, you know what? B+ for the team. I'm going to give Don an A-.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he did his last season with the Marlins was 2022. So it was a year before they saw them.
Oh, so it was okay.
But still, he did. It was a 6-year tenure. So
gotcha.
I will say too, before we wrap up, I do like that he went out and talked to the umpires for a couple minutes there, and then the coaching staff did back. I mean, Bobby Dickerson was ready to chop that guy's head off. So
I love that. That's so Philly. You gotta love it, man.
It is good because Rob Thompson probably never walks out there and it just forgets it,
Right.
So yeah, I agree. Don, I like Don. A couple of decisions here and there I don't like, but that just comes with the territory of baseball. Sure. You're not going to be perfect every time. He is working with what he has. I think I mentioned earlier in the pod, I did not need Christopher Sanchez to come out for that 8th inning, but he is also like a top 5 pitcher in baseball, so I can understand it.
And our bullpen is what it is.
Right. So I can understand it.
Right.
But yeah, man. If you are going to anyone listening, if you are going to the All-Star game, make sure you get there early. Enjoy all the festivities. It's going to be great in Philly. I'm jealous. I wish I was able to go. I'm not.
Same.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime thing for most people, so enjoy it. Dave, thank you for joining the pod, my man.
Appreciate it.
We'll have you on again. We'll have you probably around September or playoff time. We'll have you on again, and we can chop it up for the playoffs and what you're thinking and how everything's going. Oh, or even you can recap the trade deadline too. It really just depends.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to do it.
All right, my man. I appreciate you coming on. To everyone listening, we love them. We hate them. They are the Philadelphia Phillies.